What's up guys, this is Jonathan with Izaguirre Mobile Detailing here in Powder Springs, Georgia, and in this video we're actually going to be going over the complete detail process on this Mazda. So I'm kind of just going to be talking over and narrating the whole process from start to finish. And here I'm actually completely cleaning out the wheels and wheel wells, complete wheel detail, getting into the rim, also going to be getting into the wheel wells as well. And just to mention really quick, some of the processes during the detail can actually differ depending on the condition of the vehicle. Some things can be done a little more aggressively or a little more in a less aggressive manner, just kind of depending on the vehicle and its condition that it's in. This Mazda here was in great condition, so not doing anything extreme in any of the processes, nothing too aggressive. Right here, just a basic wheel detail. And actually, before getting into the wheels, we actually detailed the door jambs at first. But like we said, this Mazda was in great condition, so no need to detail the door jambs. Just going to be drying them after the washing process. But other than that, just detailing the wheels for right now. Right here, getting started with the rinse process, taking off any dirt or debris that has settled onto the paint. Want to make sure we're doing this very thoroughly, so then once we get into the agitation wash stage, we're actually not scratching up the paint during that phase. Right here, putting a bug and tar removal onto the windshield and front fender. These areas normally just get coated with lots of bugs, so you want to make sure we're being really liberal with the bug and tar removal. Right here, actually starting with the foam cannon, just foaming up the entire vehicle, again just breaking down some of the dirt that actually just has gotten stuck into the paint, if any, letting that sit and dwell for a bit just so we could break down some of that dirt even further, so then once we get into the agitation wash, it becomes real easy to take off. Now starting with the agitation wash. So with the agitation wash, we actually want to start from top to bottom, right? So as you go lower on the panels of the vehicle, normally it gets dirtier, right? As you get closer to the wheels, things that kick up from the wheels just get those lower panels dirtier. So you want to start from top to bottom, making sure that you're not dragging any dirt or debris from the bottom to the top and thus scratching the paint. Also here we're using the 2-bucket method. After every couple of panels, just going into the bucket and then rinsing, and then into the rinse bucket, and then also into the soap bucket. Now here, just washing off all the soap, making sure we're getting off all the soap from the paint. Nothing special here, just taking off the soap. Now starting the drying process, again starting from top to bottom using our Ultra Plush drying towel, super water absorbent, also Ultra Plush, so would help not instill any scratches, right? Again, we want to do the job the safest as possible. Right here we actually noticed some adhesive onto the paint, so right here we actually used an adhesive remover. I apply that onto the towel and then kind of just scrub that off real gently as possible. And then right here in a second, we actually use a pH neutral, we also use it as a clay bar lubricant, right? Just cleans up the surface as well, has cleaning properties, pH neutral, so we safely take off any remaining adhesive removal chemical that stayed onto the paint, just cleaning that off right quick. And then right here, just continuing the drying process, making sure everything's nice and dry. So once we actually start the clay bar process, we're not working with any water with minerals, right? We're going to be using the clay bar lubricant, distilled water, and also another solution just to lubricate the paint when we're working with clay barring, so we are not instilling any scratches. So throughout the drying process, we just want to make sure that there is no leftover water or anything just running down the paint, just making sure we're drying everything completely. Now right here we're going to start drying the rims and the wheels, the tires. So once we actually start to apply tire shine onto there, there's no water. Although our tire shine is water soluble, it's just best to have them dry before applying it, right? Also drying up the door jambs and other areas, just completely drying the vehicle, making sure we're being really thorough, right, in what we're doing. Just making sure everything's dry. If anything sits onto the door jambs especially, that could also just start to water spot if the car sits out in heat, so we want to make sure that we're getting into those door jambs. Now here we're actually going to be dressing the wheels and the wheel wells. Just over time the wheel wells tend to get faded, just over time from driving and whatnot, rocks kicking up and hitting the wheel wells. So we want to make sure that we're dressing those, get them looking brand new again, and then here dressing the tires as well. Now here we're also going to be dressing the trim, just making sure that that stays 100%, just using a dressing to kind of restore the trim as well, just so that it gets nice and black again. Now here we're going to be starting the paint decontamination process, and here just spraying some clay lubricant over the panel and then using our clay bars to take off any contaminants that are in the paint. This is great before applying the wax, so we're working with a glossy surface, making sure that it is completely clean, and then once we apply that wax, it stays on there really nicely. Now here we're going to be applying our ceramic spray wax, just covering the panel with the spray wax and then buffing that into the paint. Super glossy finish, also has a bit of hydrophobic properties, nothing too crazy, but just something in there as well. Now after completely waxing the whole vehicle, we start to get into the interior of the vehicle. Right here we're starting with the door panel, and then as of the rest of the door panels, we're going to be addressing in the same way as you see here on this driver's side door panel, just blowing out all the surfaces, all the little intricate areas with our air gun, using our air compressor. And then here using our APC, all-purpose cleaner, and then using a scrub pad just to scrub up those panels, making sure they're nice and black, all cleaned up, and then wiping off with a microfiber towel. Also using a detail brush to get into those pockets and also a little bit of intricate areas. Like I said, we're going to be doing this on all of the areas where there's plastic on the interior of the vehicle, making sure we're getting everything cleaned up. And right here we're starting on the driver's side interior, starting from the bottom right here, just using APC, cleaning up all these little panels. Like I said, the processes would be a bit different with a vehicle that is in worse condition, right? We would be using more aggressive processes to get the job done. But here just using our air compressor and APC, just kind of a wipe down, also scrubbing up the panels a bit. nothing too crazy. And then here, using our toothbrush style brush and APC to scrub up these pedals. Again, just making sure we're being really thorough and everything, and completely cleaning up the whole interior, right? Wiping that down and then using compressed air to get that cleaned up. Now here, starting up cleaning up the leather seats as well, making sure we're cleaning out those little crevices using our compressed air, blowing out the crevices completely before cleaning them, and then again using our APC and scrub pad to get the job done, cleaning up the leather seat entirely. Over time, the seats actually tend to look a bit shiny, and when that happens, that's actually from the body oils that your body produces, right? And once that gets to the leather, it gets the leather shiny, right? So if you have leather seats and they're shiny, that's a good sign that they are dirty. So want to get those cleaned up, making sure we are keeping our leather cleaned. Also, later in this video, we're actually going to be applying a leather conditioner to these seats, so stay tuned for that. Right here, just blowing out all the areas in the driver's side seats and area. Normally this is one of the most important areas throughout the whole detail, especially on the interior. So most of the time is spent on the driver's seat, right? Normally if you are in the car and you own the vehicle, you are going to be in the driver's seat. So you want to make sure that this area is addressed very, very thoroughly. When we're addressing the dashboard, the speedometer, the wheel, just making sure, especially the cup hold area, normally that gets a lot of the uncleanliness. So want to make sure that we're being very thorough in the driver's side area. And then right here for this little plastic piece, this area can easily be scratched. So right here we're going to use a ultra soft bristle brush, and then also using a pH neutral cleaner to make sure we're addressing this area, making sure it gets nicely cleaned, also avoiding any possible damage. Also using a brand new microfiber towel, just to ensure we're not going to scratch this area, and also using compressed air. Now, after finishing up all the plastic areas in the interior, gonna start the vacuuming process. Again, the process would be a bit different if the vehicle was more uncleansly. Again, different approaches with different vehicles, but right here just doing the vacuuming process and then blowing up any debris from under the seat into the front passenger seat. Here we are actually going to be pressure washing and shampooing the floor mats. Floor mats tend to get really dirty just from day-to-day use, people going in and out of the vehicle, so we always want to shampoo those. Applying shampoo and then using our drill brush to get the job done, just cleaning up these floor mats, and then right here we're going to be pressure washing them clean. We're actually going to be extracting the water from the floor mats. So if you just leave them out to dry, the fibers in the floor mats will actually kind of become crinkly. So you want to take out that water, making sure that there is minimal water in there before they actually start to dry, and then the rest can be put to dry. Right here, just shampooing, a very basic shampoo onto the carpets. Just spraying the shampoo onto the carpets and then taking that off with a microfiber towel, letting all the debris in the carpets get picked up into the microfiber towel. Now right here, using our window cleaning solution and then a magic eraser to break off any fog into the windows, and then right here actually going to be conditioning the door panel with a UV conditioner and protectant, just to make sure that it does not start to fade from the sun. Also here, conditioning the leather seats, making sure that those stay protected as well. Again, when the sun just beats down onto the seats or onto the plastics, it will tend to fade these areas. And right here, just putting down some air freshener as well. And then here is the finish. Now, longer video than usual. I did a lot of talking. But this is the complete detail process for the most part. Again, things would be a bit different if the vehicle was more uncleansly, but this is the complete detail process. Again, we are in the Powder Springs area and also service nearby areas. We are completely mobile. If you guys are interested in detailing services, also we do paint correction and ceramic coatings. Again, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns you guys have for me regarding detailing, paint correction, ceramic coatings, the whole 9 yards, feel free to give us a call. We have our contact information below in the description box, and you guys have a nice day. Cheers.